team, I beg your pardon, will be there to bring you details subsequently. But the flag bearer of the National Democratic Congress, John Dramani Mahama, will also file his nomination papers for the upcoming presidential election on Monday, September 9 at 2 p.m. With Professor Jane Opoku-Agyeman as his vice presidential candidate, Mahama's submission marks a pivotal step in his campaign to win the December 7 elections. The spokesperson for the Mahama campaign, Joyce Bawa Mokhtari, confirmed the filing details, emphasizing the event's significance and the campaign's focus on inclusivity and economic recovery. As part of his campaign promises, Mahama has pledged to improve the country's educational system by investing heavily in infrastructure and teacher training to ensure no child is left behind. The NDC flag bearer has committed to enhancing healthcare services nationwide, vowing to provide accessible and free primary health care for every Ghanaian. Meanwhile, the NDC leader is set to embark on a 4-day tour of the Bono region starting on Sunday. With 90 days remaining until the 2024 elections, the Electoral Commission's credibility has come under heavy criticism, leading to concerns about a free and fair election. The two leading political parties, the National Democratic Congress and the governing New Patriotic Party, disagree on the matter. But the Electoral Commission insists that everything is set for a free and fair election on December 7. Anita Agbontan has more.
As Ghana approaches the December 7th polls, growing mistrust is clouding the nation's electoral atmosphere, raising concerns about the integrity of the Electoral Commission (EC). Issues such as stolen biometric verification devices (BVDs), illegal vote transfers, internet disruptions, and malfunctioning equipment are increasingly casting doubt on the EC's ability to ensure a smooth, free, and fair election process. The National Democratic Congress (NDC) has consistently raised concerns about what they see as irregularities, including unauthorized voter transfers and potential system vulnerabilities. The NDC previously raised concerns about the transfer of votes from Tamale South and Sagnarigu to Pusiga. A similar incident occurred in the Jumaku Enyan Esiam constituency, where more than 3,000 voters were illegally transferred. While the Electoral Commission has accepted responsibility and noted that the anomalies have been rectified, the situation remains debatable.
The preparation of the register is a human endeavor. There are bound to be mistakes. The register is robust and credible. At the end of the day, the final certified register will reflect corrections of all identified errors.
After a meeting with the Electoral Commission on Friday, September 6th, NDC Director of Elections noted that the Electoral Commission cannot effectively resolve errors it is responsible for creating.
We have enumerated these anomalies. If the EC has nothing to hide, and we don't want to believe they have anything to hide, the EC must agree for an independent body to audit this. It has happened before.
The news team hit the street to gather public opinion on whether the EC should accept an independent audit of the voters' register.
They always accuse. We don't know the person talking true now. They should leave in to doing work.
If Electoral Commission know that he's doing perfect work, when NDC say they should be auditing, they have to accept it.
Nia omokano ewomu nanso ekame media nia ebema oman atumpon amasumdue abano eno ena mihia.
They want to call for audit, if only to ensure transparent election. Then for me, I think that would be good. That would be good. So the EC have to accept for them to go for the audit.
Speaking on TV3's Key Points, panelists back calls for an independent audit into the voters' register.
If the stakes are so high, it means that we should not spare any opportunity to do what improves the transparency, the credibility, the legitimacy of the final results of this election.
You've made errors, countless errors. I mean, dates back from 2012. You see how the general election results kept changing. Didn't they change the general election results 6 times? So from day one, you've had challenges with your mass, you know, and that's basic. So if the parties ask to see, for me, I think it's within the law. It helps bridge, or it helps breed trust.
On the day of election, you do not have time to come and solve these problems. So we cannot allow, whether deliberate or inadvertent errors, to happen on that day.
But Deputy General Secretary of the governing New Patriotic Party, NPP, Haruna Mohammed, disagrees, saying the register is fit for purpose.
Any attempt for us to discredit the Electoral Commission is not only tantamount to peaceful election, but also going to the credibility of the entire country. Well, all of us have a responsibility to contribute our quota to ensuring free, fair, transparent elections. But we must do that in moderation. We must not do that by desperation.
Amidst all these concerns, the Electoral Commission has, however, assured Ghanaians of free and fair elections come December 7.
Let's cross over to the Northeast region now and speak with my colleague William Evans Inkum on the very latest from Walewale. Evans, thank you so much for your time. Supporters of Mahama Tia Kabiru and Hajia Lariba Zuwera on Saturday, we know, clashed regarding the parliamentary election over there. Run us to speed with the very latest at the moment. Hello, William Evans Inkum. If you can hear me, I was saying that we know that supporters of Mahama Tia Kabiru and Hajia Lariba Zuwera Abudu on Saturday night clashed at the forecourt of Eagle FM, a local radio station in Walewale. We want to know what the mood is looking like at the moment, if you can run us to speed with that. Right, so we are having some difficulties connecting with William Evans Inkum, but he has been engaging Lariba, who happens to be the former gender minister in Walewale, asking whether she has lost support from the candidates. Let's take a look at that.
Performance in the Walewale constituency, and you look at, by virtue of what we saw in January, even though the Tamale High Court annulled that particular result, it was very, very close. It means among the delegates, perhaps you are not that popular.
Well, you can't say you be somebody who is very popular within everybody within the constituencies. You know, some may have their issues that you are not able to meet. So based on that, they may say, no.
What probably might have gone wrong?
Maybe some development challenges. You know.
Right. William Evans Inkum, if you can hear me now, what is the mood in Walewale at the moment?
One person to lead this particular constituency into the 2024 parliamentary election. The January one was annulled by the Tamale High Court, and the reason the court cited was some infractions. I can tell you that this morning it has been pretty smooth here. The vice president not too long ago began an engagement with supporters and of course candidates. But Asediba, let me tell you what. Zuwera was able to meet the vice president not too long ago, but Dr. Kabiru is yet to meet the vice president. We have been picking some information, but we cannot independently confirm to you whether it is a deliberate attempt not to meet him or tension is beginning to grow to some ugly levels. Nonetheless, the environment is quite calm. But to say that there's some level of, one would say, a scramble for vote is very obvious. That's exactly what we are saying. The two candidates are moving from one area to the other, trying to communicate their political message across or put them across, and also convince the delegate why they deserve to lead or grab that sole ticket going into the 2024 parliamentary election. For the delegate, one thing is for sure, they are looking forward to getting somebody who has the constituency at heart. One, playing that double pivotal role. bringing development to the constituency, and also having a very strong relationship with the supporters of the party, from the grassroots level up to the constituency level. We have been facing some level of interrogation as to what happened last night. Well, some of the supporters are not too happy that particular situation ended up in the public domain. Some also believe that that is a reality on the ground. But whatever each believe, the fact of the matter is that you all agree that the environment is quite, it's boiling, and for that matter, there should be some level of, circumspection in terms of political language, and then, a pusher, and exactly what the Vice President has been doing not too long ago. Currently, we understand that he will be attending a funeral, but right after that, he's also expected to meet the candidates again, because, stakes are high, and the fact that there is a scramble, as I said early on. We are still trying very hard to get in touch with Dr. Mahama Tia Kabiru, the main contender as far as tomorrow's election is concerned. We understand that he's been out and about trying to canvass for votes and what have you. So we are still here waiting anxiously for him so we can engage him, want to know his vision and really to understand whether he still feels that he is in a comfortable lead as far as tomorrow's election is concerned. Nonetheless, I've been speaking with some of his supporters, closed doors, and behind the scene, let me put it that way, and they tell me that they are very much confident that come tomorrow, at least by the close of 3 p.m., when they expect voting to have closed, Dr. Kabiru will emerge the victor. If you go to the other side, I'm talking about the incumbent MPs, camp, they also believe that they will also emerge as victors. Security from last night to date has been very tight. I've also seen military men frequenting, and of course with the police, just to give some assurance that they are on the ground and they are also ready to douse any possible escalation. So Asediba, we are still monitoring update from the Walewale constituency, and hopefully by evening time 3:60 we should have gotten Dr. Kabiru to also tell you what his camp also feels as far as development here is concerned. Back to you, studios.
With the parliamentary election rerun happening tomorrow in Walewale, trust us here at your election command center to run you up to speed with exactly what will be happening. We'll get to know finally if Mahama Tia Kabiru or Haja Lariba Zuera will be the person running for that particular constituency. But away from that, incumbent Member of Parliament for Amenfi Central, Peter Kwachi Aka, has withdrawn from the upcoming NDC primaries, paving the way for Joanna Jan Kojo to be acclaimed as the party's parliamentary candidate on September 8. The decision by the Member of Parliament has been met with delight from party members in the constituency who believe that Jan Kojo is the ideal candidate for the constituency. Pa Kojo Peters, Western Region correspondent, is monitoring the exercise, and he is joining me with details on the back of that. But before we get to connect to Pa Kojo Peters, let me just run you through the political history in that particular constituency to get to know. We know that it's been a stronghold of the National Democratic Congress for a very long time, but these graphics will let you understand exactly how it has been. We know that from 1996, the NPP was able to garner 29.5% of votes in the Amenfi Central constituency, while the NDC was at 67.7%. In 2000, the NPP moved a notch higher to 41.6%, while the NDC came a bit lower to 54.3%. In 2004, the NPP was at 47.7%, while the NDC was at 48.1%. In 2008, it dropped drastically for the NPP, where they fell off at 33.2%, while the NDC was at 39.3%. In 2012, the NPP was at 43.8%, while the NDC raised a bit higher to 54.8%. The NPP in 2016 was at 48.9%, while the NDC was at 50.5%. In 2020, NPP was 44.5%, while the NDC was at 52.9%. You get to see the graphic on your screen right now where you can see, just like I have indicated, in 1996, we saw that the NDC was higher with 67.7%, where it dropped down drastically to 2008, where they had 39.3%, while the NPP was at 33.2%. So it's just been a bit dicey, but we get to see in the 2024 election to see exactly where the NDC will stand, because they haven't been, you know, much consistent when it comes to the bar or the graphical representation that we have shown you on your screen at the moment. But here at your election command center, we will be running you up to speed to get to know exactly how it will be, just to be sure if the NDC will still be holding higher in that constituency or not. But Parkojo Peters is joining me with details from that constituency. Parkojo, if you can hear me, run us up to speed with what is happening.
So today is the D-Day for the aspiring parliamentary candidate for Amenfi Central, Joanna Jan Kujo, to be acclaimed as the NDC's parliamentary candidate for the constituency. As you can see behind me, all is set for the party and the Electoral Commission to embark on this exercise. So far, Joanna Jan Kujo is going unopposed, as her contenders have all given their support to her, so she's going unopposed. We have been speaking to some of the party members over here at Ejaka Manso in the Amenfi Central constituency of the Western region, and these were their concerns.
Mahama, so you that spa, I want to me, or the Amaye, Mameno, Amana to me, and nothing, do some purpose. Now, and then I can say about any day. Yabano, you can't say about a lesson, but yeah, but I've near Master, it's yeah, about a dear, Yaboy, whatever. NDC, a pen couple, unity, Intina, by a peculiar, a person of Barnaba, no Baba Boy. 2024 election ya papa Mahama aka oba na ho ama na abeboa yo mpuntu dumam also ye hu sa Amenfi Central ya ka achi oba ni nipa obetumi abeka ya papa Mahama ho mana aboa ye ho afi 2024 aba wo ya ye ba batunu je penka bom nti na de ahoden ye nim de e free manso Amenfi district ni mu ya de ba beboa e wo Ejaka manso ha se na ebe ya ye bibia ye be ye nene no wano
oba ne de ye hunu so oba obeboa ye se mra wo ma ye kra muwa kra wade boa ye na wanya ma ye na kasa kra ye hu so oba emwa ne de obetimi aboa ye na ye gidie ne bibia beta na chi ma oba bibia be ye bia watimi aye kama amai ye papa ba enje be so no so ba ne na ye de omugbom ne ye adwuma anu ntina ma ye de etimi ya ho de beta na chi ye papa so ba watimi aye adwuma ma na ye yie Obana de ye sunu mu pa ye beto ama no ti say hu se ono bibi pa be wonu mu bibi pa mu anu wonu mu a oba e beboa ye enti omla anu ti na ya ba no.
Parkojo Peters is our Western regional correspondent. But away from the NDC, we jump to the camp of the PNC, because the former General Secretary of the People's National Convention, PNC, Bernard Mona, will lead a party into the December 7 general election after winning the flag bearership slot amid drama. Stanley Niblel reports that his contender, David Apasara, has hinted on seeking legal redress to challenge the outcome of the election results.
The Congress was held in all 16 regional capitals after the Elections Committee of the People's National Convention, PNC, passed a resolution to decentralize the process. In the Greater Accra region, the process was delayed as Electoral Commission officials did not show up at the UDS guest house as at midday, angering delegates. Attempt by a party member to enchant the Congress further escalated tensions. Officials of the Electoral Commission, however, arrived about 45 minutes later. The process began, but shortly after, another issue arose. This time, some delegates could not find their names in the voters' album. After 5 p.m., results from the regions began to trickle in after polls had closed. There was a stalemate as the Electoral Commission's returning officer refused to declare the result of the Congress because 2 regions had not submitted their results. Officers from the Electoral Commission were present in those 2 regions, but delegates did not show up to vote. The results were thus declared based on voting from 14 regions.
We have come to the end of the collation of the results from the regions.
Drama again unfolded when the Electoral Commission officials attempted to leave the premises without agents of the aspirants endorsing the declared results. After about 45 minutes, with the results vetted, Electoral Commission officials then left the premises.
You cannot come and shout at me. Be careful. Be careful. Or you think because I'm sitting quietly? What do you think? I didn't insult you. Did I insult you?
The chairman of the party's election committee announced the winners. Bernard Mona was elected flag bearer with 1,138 votes against David Apasera, who managed 216 votes. Samson Asaki Awingobit also succeeded Moses Daniba as national chairman after defeating Hajia Hajara. Awudu Ishak was elected general secretary, with Mark Ewusi Aku retaining his position as national youth organizer. Esther Danso won the women's organizer slot, and Abbas Nuhu was re-elected as the national organizer. The new flag bearer, Bernard Mona, promised to mend all cracks in the party.
The bigger picture and the ultimate is the 7th December elections. As a people-centered leader, I promise to work tirelessly for all Ghanaians. I will listen to your concerns, amplify your voices, and fight your fights.
But his contender, David Apasera, then appeared at the Coalition Center and accused the Electoral Commission of overseeing an enchanted election.
Electoral Commission is a very key factor in every election. And if you look at every country where there are upheavals, there are wars, it's out of elections. And people at that level should not stoop so low. People at that level should not stoop so low and do the wrong thing. Even at the common party level, at my party level, they stoop so low. How about the real elections that matter?
David Apasera hinted he will head to court.
Well, I will meet my lawyers and know what to do. Certainly. I don't think this will go unanswered. I don't think it will go unanswered because we need to make things right, to put things right.
Stanley Nibleu, TV3 News, Accra.
Away from your election command center, the East Gonja Municipal Assembly has commenced work on some deplorable roads in the municipality following the arrival of earth-moving equipment under the District Road Improvement Program, DRIP. The Salaga-Kandai Road is the first road to receive a facelift using the equipment. There was an easy calm in Salaga between supporters of the NPP and NDC following the arrival of the equipment on Thursday, leading to scores sustaining various degrees of injuries. We are connecting with our correspondent Christopher Amwako for updates on the back of the story. Chris, thank you for your time. How are residents reacting to the use of these equipment?
Yes, so Godwin, the residents within the East Gonja municipality, to be specific, the Salaga enclave, are very happy that their roads are going to see some facelift with the arrival of the drip equipment. As we speak, the equipment are on the Salaga-Kwandai road and working to ensure that the road is motorable for commuters to use. The road has been on contract since 2018, but the work on the road stalled around 2020, and so as we speak, there's no contractor on the road. So this particular earth-moving equipment under the DRIP program is helping to, as it were, grade and gravel the road for motorists to be able to transport their goods.
Right, Chris, government is supposed to provide fuel for the work. Do you know if the assembly received the fuel or who is fueling the trucks?
As it stands now, the assembly has not received petrol from government to fuel the truck. So the New Patriotic Party parliamentary candidate for the Salaga South constituency, Adam Salifu Brahma, has taken full responsibility of fueling the trucks to, as it were, proceed with work to be able to gravel most of the roads in the area. And so as it stands now, he's putting the full bill for the fueling of the trucks. The MCE as well as the parliamentary candidates have been speaking to the media.
Constituency, that is what is important, to alleviate the suffering of our people. So everybody should take it that all that has happened is that noise is past. We want to alleviate the suffering of our people. MCE has elaborated a lot. The money for the fueling of the vehicles hasn't come yet, but we are working. We have arrogance. It's our party that is in power. The party brought them to help alleviate the suffering of people. What is being a member of? I'm a parliamentary candidate. And the party, anybody who is either the journalist, you don't ask people, put people on this. Listen. What is the business of being a member of parliament? You are to help the people alleviate their suffering. Those kind of nonsense again. Excuse my language. We've gone past those kind of politics.
This machine will not go to his or her interest, especially, let me be very frank. I've received, look, what has happened, and people got injured a bit. Look, we are not interested in that. But if she wants to escalate and thinks that the accolade her people give her as Yasantua, she's a man, we will show her that she's not even a lady, but she's a kid. So she should stay away. We are not interested in anything that is coming from the central government, and this assembly is working, or the municipal assembly is working under the central government. As we speak, the funds are yet to land, but we are working.
Right, Christopher Mwako, we understand that the Pemberura has slapped a fine on both the NPP and NDC supporters in Salaga South over the confusion in Salaga on the drip equipment. Can you tell us more about that?
Yes, so Godwin, I remember on Thursday we ran a story that there was uneasy calm in the Salaga community following the arrival of the drip equipment. The NDC and NPP were involved in some misunderstanding, which led to some scores of residents getting injured and were transported to the Salaga government hospital. So the Kwembura invited the two political parties because for him, the equipment were meant for development and that their actions will impede the full utilization of the equipment. And so he slapped a 5,000 Ghana cedis fine on each of the political parties and also took a bull to be used to sacrifice to the gods of the land so that whatever blood that was shed as a result of the clash will be cleansed for the equipment to be used for their intended purposes. So they have since paid the fine and work has begun using the drip equipment.
Christopher Marco is our Northern Regional Correspondent, and thank you so much for those details. Chris, you're still tuned in to Weekend Central here on TV3 with me, Godwin Asediba. We are going for a quick break. Make sure you do stay with us here on Weekend Central. Let me grab a glass of water. Is Godwin Asediba. The paramount chief of the Bunkpurugu traditional area in the northern east region, Alhaji Abuba Nesongmong, is this afternoon urging the people of Bunkpurugu and Bimboba land to channel their time and resources into peaceful coexistence to foster development in the area. Addressing a press conference in Bunkpurugu, the chief also admonished members of the Jamong family of Bunkpurugu to desist from creating unnecessary tension in Bunkpurugu.
The Jafok and Jamong royal families of Bunkpurugu have been at loggerheads with each other over the Bunkpurugu skin for the past 93 years. The overlord of Mampurugu, Nayuri Na Mahami Abdullahi Sheriga, skinned Alhaji Abuba Namin Song of the Jafok royal family as paramount chief of the Bunkpurugu traditional area in 2007. His enskinment was however challenged by the Jamong royal family at the then Northern Regional House of Chiefs in August 2019. The Northern Regional House of Chiefs declared the enskinment of the current Bunkpurugu chief Alhaji Abuba Namin Song null and void. Dissatisfied with the judgment, Alhaji Abuba Namin Song and the Jafok royal family appealed the ruling at the National House of Chiefs. After close to 5 years of hearing, the National House of Chiefs set August 28, 2024 for judgment. However, the judgment was adjourned to a later date. Unhappy with the adjournment, the Jamong royal family on September 2 held a press conference in Accra, accusing the vice president and the Nayuri of interfering in the matter. In a swift response to the press conference by the Jamong family, the Jafok royal family described the claims of the Jamong family as baseless, irresponsible, and a threat to the security of Bunkpurugu.
We stand very firm to reaffirm the legality and legitimacy of Chief Alhaji Abuba Nasimo Tambo Tokpantumor enskinment in Nalego for more than 17 years ago.
While calling on members of the Jafok royal family to refrain from commenting on the case, spokesperson of the Jafok family, Jimmy Jopak, also urged the Jamong family to desist from creating unnecessary tensions in Bunkpurugu.
The royal Jafok family holds the Nayiri and the institution of the Nayiri's palace in the highest regard. The royal Jafok family have always advocated for peace, respect, adherence to traditional authority. We also caution against any rhetoric that seeks to draw parallels between Boko and Bunkpurugu.
Some residents also spoke on the need to maintain peace.
If there is disturbance in Bunkpurugu town, in fact, we the youth will be affected most. Besides that, this tremendous development I've mentioned, like the construction of the Bunkpurugu road, the Agenda 11 hospital that is still under construction, and then many other projects will come to standstill. I can remember that last week, even the constructor who is working on this our road was threatened by an unknown people that if he doesn't leave site, previous contractors who came to construct the road, they died. So if he does not go, he will die as well.
We turn attention to Galamsey and its challenges. The Director of Radiological and Medical Services Research at the Ghana Atomic Energy Commission, Professor Francis Hasford, has attributed the rise in Ghana's cancer cases to illegal mining activities. Speaking to TV3, he called for drastic action to tackle the menace.
Health sector unions have called on President Akufo-Addo to immediately impose a ban on all forms of small-scale mining activities in the country. This comes against the backdrop, of course, by the Ghana Water Company for an urgent action to prevent pollution and siltation of water bodies, citing increasing challenge of availability of raw water for treatment. The leadership of the unions, in a joint statement, expressed grave concerns over the detriment impact of Galamsey on water bodies. Major river bodies and streams have been polluted by the activities of illegal miners, and forests have been destroyed. Illegal mining involves the use of harmful chemicals like mercury and cyanide. These substances contaminate the soil and water bodies. When contaminated, water or food is consumed, it can lead to serious health problems, including various types of cancer. Exposure to mercury has been linked to neurological damage and kidney problems, while cyanide can cause acute poisoning and chronic health issues. According to the Radiological and Medical Sciences Research Institute of the Ghana Atomic Energy Commission, Ghana now records about 4,500 new cases of cancer annually, with 50% of these cases resulting in death.
In Ghana,
we record 24,000 cancer cases every year. And out of this, about 15,000, representing about 65%, die off. When we break it down further, we get to know that 6 women die of breast cancer every day in Ghana.
The director of Radiological and Medical Science Research Institute, Professor Francis Hasford, has blamed the recent rise in cancer cases on the activities of illegal mining.
We have what is called heavy metals in the substances that are used for galamsey activities. And when they are used, then they enter into the water bodies. And these are the same water bodies that we use, that are processed for us to use in our homes. And once they get into the heavy elements, heavy metals get into these water bodies, it becomes difficult to remove them.
If no action is taken to tackle the activities of illegal miners, the consequences will be dire for the future of Ghana and its citizens. Joseph Armstrong, Good TV3, Accra.
The consequences will indeed be dire if illegal mining or galamsey is not stopped immediately. We are taking another break and we will be back shortly. Stay with us.
This season, enjoy the best football moments with your guy, GoTV. Get your GoTV today to enjoy all the best football live on SuperSport. GoTV.
with residents who are afraid to come out at night.
Living in Kalbion community in the Bolgatanga municipality at night is uncomfortable and frustrating according to residents. Many sections in the area are very dark at night, and this is because of the absence of street light. The main road in Kalbion from the Bolgatanga township to Shirigu, Basingo, and through Naga in the Kasana Nankana municipal is plunged in darkness without functional street lights. Criminal activities like snatching of motorbikes, armed robbery and rape is prominent along the main Kalbion road. But for our external light, it was difficult to capture any image. The assemblyman for the area, Ayariga Sonny, expressed grave worry.
Those who are in authority and can help us to come to our aid. People have lost their motorbikes. This is more or less a highway, a major road for the people of Kalbion, because this is the road, not only Kalbion, but Basengo too. So every day we pass this road, go to town. Look, there's a problem, and this problem has been added to another problem, because the road already is no more trouble.
He commended Media General for the initiative and called for the immediate fixing of the street light to help save life and property.
I want to appeal to at least our government to come to our aid and to help us solve this problem. If not, our lives are not safe. So I want to thank TV3 very much for this opportunity. I'm very grateful.
Some residents also shared their frustrations on the absence of street lights in the community.
Without light, nobody can move. If you can't see anything, you can't go anywhere. So the presence of street lights in Kalbi community, especially at vantage points, is something very good for me as a resident and other community members.
It's not that late, but here when you are passing, you need to be scared because there's no light, there's no street lights, there's nothing here. And I think street lights to also serve as security. And I think the Kalbio community, we need street lights for us to, especially on this stretch of the road. And this is a major route for almost all of us. There's nobody that will be going to town and the person will not pass here. And the place is very dark. We are appealing to the authorities, the government, and anybody that can help, that they should come to our aid.
The few street lights our news team spotted were acquired by private individuals for their security.
And that is a major road for people living in Bolga. Very risky, but in other stories, it is described as the fastest growing city in West Africa, yet at night movement in the city is fraught with challenges due to malfunctioning street lights which poses a threat to human security and affects the street light series again. My colleague Christopher Mwako puts the spotlight on the malfunctioning street lights in the Greater Tamale metropolis.
Considered as the fastest growing city in West Africa, Tamale is also a busy town during the day. The buzzing sound of motorcycles and vehicles is heard throughout the city. However, the situation is different at night. Apart from lights from vehicles and other motorcycles, it will be difficult to see through the night. Almost all the visible street lights erected on the principal streets have not been functional. Despite several attempts by the residents to get them fixed, the situation remains unchanged.
The overhead, most of the street lamps are off. And some time ago, they took about 5 or 6 motorbikes on it because of the lack of these street lamps. Yeah. That's happening. So at least the authorities should try as much as they are possible to do something about it.
We need the street lights to make our area good. Even if it's late, if someone is going to do something bad to you, because of the darkness, the person will get through you.
Apart from the high incidence of motorcycle accidents, criminal activities such as snatching of motorbikes and armed robbery have been on the ascendancy.
It affects us a lot because sometimes you want to go to some certain places, but because of the lights is off, someone might attack us through inside our yolo. But because the lights is not on, so we are appealing to government to fix it.
Assemblyman for Vitin Electoral Area, Alhassan Ziblim, blamed the Tamale Metro Assembly for the challenges.
We had an information
that they have given Streetlight bulbs to be given to us to mount in our respective electoral areas, but it has not been done.
He accused the assembly for holding street bulbs meant for assembly members.
I personally, I went to the mayor and asked of it. He told me that he will give it to us. And now we are having an information that he has been giving it to party boys. So I told him directly. So this one is not I'm making an allegation. I just told him that what you are doing is not the best, because this one was meant to be given to the assembly member, because we know the electoral areas very well.
Efforts to get the Tamale Metro Assembly to respond yielded no positive results. The situation is not too different in some areas in the Sagnargo municipality. In 2023 alone, 4 cars were snatched in Tamale with several motorbikes stolen. The current street lighting situation is a threat to security in the Tamale metropolis, where criminal activities is fast gaining grounds.
The problem of the street light is not only in this community, it's a general problem concerning the whole metropolis. So we are appealing to government and all stakeholders to come to our aid and then help us solve the problem.
As the Tamale Metro Assembly continues to make progress in improving its lighting system, it is clear that there is still work to be done. Authorities have been urged to take immediate actions to address this pressing issue. Christopher Mwako, TV3 News, Tamale.
Just like we always do, before I take leave of you, pick up your phones and scan to a QR code to get to know happenings in the world of news. Here, you get instant access to our news updates on our WhatsApp platform. So pick up your phones and do that immediately. It doesn't take much time, just a few seconds, and you're done. I'm pleased you made some time to make me a part of your time this afternoon on the program. My name is Godwin Asediba. I will be back same time next week, hopefully, with my co-host Grace Hamwa Ajaman. Thank you so much and see you. Bye-bye.
Enadie, mighty power. This is haputi.
Na ka me prayer topic on erade ma me ko delay shows. E bon paya.
Say me ba delay. Uhusa. I mean Ghana nyina ye delay no. Uhusa. E ha na oba interview ana che say wo ye adru.
Me das.
Me ka just say I'll come on your show.
Me kai pa.
Fe me ma me ka chen say na me ko delay shows o ka chen say ye erade na dia me be yewu.
Ah say.
Delay mama show na me che say e di na be bia kodro no. Say your friend wa ma.
Delay show is like the apex. Into one master, the answer being CI or carrier.
As when you are GB.
The Delay Show is brought to you by Telecel, Yas Sanitary Pad, Nasco, Betway, Gino, Pepsodent, Delay Foods, Tabia Takum.
The Delay Show, Sunday at 6 p.m. on TV2.
Hi viewers, my name is Defenzi. Have you heard of Cash Out? Yes, I have won on Cash Out. It all started one day, my wife was telling me about Cash Out. I was like, what at all is this Cash Out? Okay, so I had money in my Momo and I decided to give it a try. And I left off to work and I got a message, wow, 5,000 Ghana cedis. Can you imagine? Next week I did it again and I